Hello everyone, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be dubbing over this gameplay, just to explain my rationale. We're going to be playing my proprietary bitchin' ramp. This is a ramp that is bitchin', don't get it twisted. Okay, there are a couple of tech choices in here, a lot of the new ANZAC cards. The rough gist, I'm going through this fast because I'm going to quit here real quick. But basically, it's just a really rugged, low-to-the-ground ramp list. The big headline is no war bonds. And I think basically ramp runs into a problem where it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? In the modern cards ecosystem, you really can't just spend your turn 5 doing nothing. And moreover, if you can, it's probably not as good as just playing a threat. Okay, so starting off, this is honestly a pretty good hand because we get Z special unit in a pretty far leftmost position. Getting Thunderbolt is even better. This is honestly an ideal hand. Overcast here, another big headline. The forecast on the card really makes this thing kind of a powerhouse. And so we're going to be playing that turn 2. But I really want to draw attention to just what this deck is able to do without those 3 war bonds. It can still play a very high curve. I'm running 3 5th Rangers, I'm running A24B, I'm running B-29 US Military Research, P-51s. This isn't just a control deck. This has some real bite to it. I'm playing Thunderbolt here, just to get it out of that slot. I get to put Wrath Hurricane back on top of the deck, which is a really cute interaction. Basically, I get the deployment effect because it's rightmost card when I draw it. So I could theoretically play it next turn with its deployment blitz effect. I'm also pretty much always going for mist or rain with the weather effects. Mainly for the HQ health. There are some certain situations where I'll use Gale to close out the game. Typically the 6k option, I think it's Cyclone. And I'm pretty sure it does 5 damage to a target enemy and 2 damage to adjacent ones. This is pretty fine, my board position here. I'm completely comfortable here. I get to play my, yeah, I think I do. I play, or do I? This was a couple days ago. This is like the night of the, or not the night of, the morning of the release of Oceania Storm. I'm debating on that torrential rain, just in case my plane dies. Looks like I go for it, which is an odd play in retrospect, but I understand just trying to get value. This is a greedy deck after all. Yeah, we're just going to see what the opponent has to play here. Command failure is fine. It's pretty punishing, but with what I have in hand, I don't feel super threatened. Another torrential rain just kind of seals the deal. I'm going to be hitting Akita here, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Z special unit. I mean, 5 defense is just crazy on a removal card. It's basically attacking the colonies, but better. It's cheaper, gives you more health, deals more damage. It's just so good. I'd be really surprised if it didn't get a nerf. It probably won't because 1939 feels that leftmost is a decent condition, but even still it's 3k 5 damage, which is about on rate. Obviously the 5 health is why you're playing it, so don't get that twisted. This is pretty easy, especially with a Jatsko in my hand now. I'm going to be playing the Torrential Rain just to get a little bit more value out of these 5th Rangers, which is what I'm playing them for. I just want to occupy the front line with a huge unit. And you can see these rain cards are really kind of pulling their weight. I'm getting massive buffs on my units, which help me value trade, and it's keeping my HQ total afloat. This isn't a nothing aggro deck. They've been playing cards that hit my face constantly, and I'm still I'm still at my base life total. So it is not nothing. Now, I'm the greediest ramp player to ever greed, so I'm playing, what's it called? My mind is blanking. The big 5/5 plane. I'm playing it basically immediately because I feel unthreatened. And I'm gonna go for a blue sky, just in case I am able to get a big swing with Wrath Hurricane, and the, fighters. This is like the one use case where I'll go for a blue sky. It's probably not going to do too much. The heat wave is pretty mid, but I did have the opportunity to get a really good high roll. He suppresses the Tiger Cat. That's what it is. Suppresses the Tiger Cat. I really am not worried in the slightest here. Eagle Claws. I think he's hoping that I have to kill the 106th, but I do have Seahawk, so pretty confident that won't be an issue. In fact, I think I might just play Seahawk into either A24 or Heatwave here. Oh wow, I don't even play Seahawk. That's fine, I'm going for face here. I mean, I'm fine with that. Dauntless has heavy armor, A24 has heavy armor, my Tiger Cat has 3 health. It's not a big issue. At this point, I'm really trying to set up lethal with Strat Bombing and Wrath Hurricane. And one of the great parts about bombers, should be self-evident, is that they can just go right over guard units. Which doesn't sound that special until you're on the receiving end of it. I very easily could have gone for, whatchamacallit? All these new cards, I can't remember the names. Surprise Engagement. I could have gone for Surprise Engagement, I might still. And what surprised me most about playing this deck was that Wrath Hurricane is actually just a really okay card to play. Just base, just as a 3k 3/3 fighter. I haven't been upset about it yet. Which is strange, because it's one of those cards where it almost is inconsequential unless you get the deployment effect. But it was really working for me. Seaborn here is just bullying, so obviously I'm going to play it. Oh, and that basically wins me the game on the spot. Not a whole lot of thought put into that game, but there we have it. Just a really solid win against some sort of aggro deck, some sort of confused aggro deck running Osaka. It's probably more of a value angle, because it's running Shibata, Osaka, 106, 35 Ts. A viewer did mention a while ago that, yeah, my rank is pretty low, and that's mainly because I just can't justify literally playing the game so often. I play maybe 4 to 5, I'd go lower, I'd say 2 to 5 matches a day. So at that rate, if I win every single game, I'll be Field Marshal in, what is that, 14? No, it would be like 10 weeks because of the the bonus you get for winning multiples in a row. But anyway, it would be well, it would be like 7 weeks, but still 7 weeks of that kind of or maybe it would be 1 week. I don't know. My math is wrong. Anyway, that was a pretty easy game. But it really does go to show that just bog standard aggro decks basically can't touch this deck when it gets a good hand. And I think there might be a future match in here where I get a pretty bad hand but still end up coming out on top. Against an aggro deck, that's pretty important, because naturally, as ramp, you're a greedier control deck, essentially, so control decks already have a hard time against aggro in certain metas. A greedier control deck is basically worthless. So this is a British deck. I remember this guy. I was really worried about a Meteor this whole game. Especially because that's the sort of shenanigans that have been pulled on me constantly recently. I just get a free NZANS. Never say no. Now, typically, which has been really funny, is that I haven't gone for Manhattan Project yet. Like, literally, like, since the new expansion, I have not played Manhattan Project. And that's for one reason. The B-29 buff. Pressurized Cabin is legitimately very good. Like here, I have nothing to play, so I just, oh, I actually do go for the expanded research. Just proving myself wrong. But typically, I'll either go for depth charges or, pressurized cabin, yeah. With B-29 being playable, it's not just a 9-credit DFA, it's a 9-credit DFA attached to a win con. Now I noticed this guy is playing a greedy deck. He's tutoring, he's basically doing nothing. So I opt to duplicate my US research at 9 credits. So I can either go for penicillin here, or I can go for, 4 Manhattan projects, just because. Gale is pretty tempting here, just because my opponent isn't really doing anything, and a Cyclone could just give me the value I need to win. Going for a Thunderstorm here seems plausible, because of Garrison, which is what I do. Thunderstorm is a pretty good counter to Garrison. Overdrawing a Hampshire sucks pretty bad for him. Oh, and there we go. Yeah, that's exactly the use case. It would be foolish not to do such a thing. And then, yeah, I just play Hurricane. Pretty crazy. Wild, one might say. Or you go for a 5th Rangers, that works too. Setting up that 6-7 in the front line isn't nothing. Him losing an area bombardment sucks pretty bad for him. Oh, and this guy just surrendered. There we go. He did not like the cut of my jib. But one of the points I really wanted to bring out about this deck is just how consistent it is. Overcast is like such a good card now. The forecast mechanic is such an amazing like toolbox of cards that you can just pick from. It's beautiful. I never feel bad for playing a forecast, or an overcast rather. Because oftentimes with a deck like this, it's built to use those credit slots a lot better than my opponent. So giving my opponent a card in a credit slot doesn't really do as much for them as it does for me. Along with the asymmetry of the forecast being stapled onto the card itself, it's not really an issue. So here we've got a Jasko against a 1-2 Finnish artillery. Self-explanatory. Here he plays a protected convoy, and that kind of worries me for sort of the Soviet blast archetype, but he's also running Finland ally, so I mean, that solves that problem. Regardless, his cards are doing nothing right now. He gets off a really good high roll with National Service, but I can just sort of take advantage of his do-nothing turn by doing something. Which is, it's funny as a ramp deck to be able to do something on turn 4. Already at this point, I've realized that this is going to take a while. So, I'm pretty sure I play 5th Rangers with the +4/+4. Yeah, that's right. It's not threatening anything, but it is sitting back there waiting to soak up removal. He chooses to go for the White Death, which I mean isn't awful. Let's see here. I've pushed the Seahawk into the front line. I'm pretty much at this point just waiting for him to do something. Either waiting to ramp, waiting to get my ramp cards, that is, and or waiting for him to overextend, essentially. At this point, I'm so fine with naval battle, killing my own units. I mean, they're all suppressed, they're all garbage. A 4-3, 4 operation cost, I don't care. So here I'm going to be looking 6, 4, 2. I'm pretty sure I hit even here. Yeah. Pretty clean. Doesn't kill my Jasko, which is annoying. I wish it did, but there we have it. He goes for a Cameronians while I have 2 DFAs with tutors on them, so there's that. And you can actually play Thunderbolt on 8 cards, because it is essentially only cycling. Now I can put any card back on top of my deck, and it would probably make the most sense to put B-29 on top of my deck, but at this point I have so many high-cost cards in my hand that I really can't rely on the healing from Z special unit. He goes for a decoy tactic here, which is interesting. I'm probably going for an ANZAC here, or a strat bombing, that too. I can essentially just ignore like most of what this guy does, because the control package in this deck is just really, really strong. Now that is something I can't ignore, which is surprising, honestly. I think I go for the ANZAC here, just because I need to get rid of that guard unit. NZANS is perfect here. Lets me keep ramping to that 16 credit total for the B-29 I have. And then it also sets me up for the DFA next turn. Good play. I'm confident soaking that damage because I've got life gain in hand. But at this point, the clock is starting to tick. If this guy reaches the late game, he's probably going to end up bursting me down with meteors, which isn't ideal. So I need to kind of close this thing out, which is admittedly pretty difficult to do. But with a clever use of my cards, I should be able to overcome such adversities. Raft Hurricane is decent here because that sets me up for a nothing. I just kill the guard unit. I play the special engagement. It either kills the Spitty or the Honey. Either way, I'm kind of happy. Now, I actually cannot play a Overcast here without overdrawing the weather effect. So this is kind of irrelevant. Against this deck, I would probably go for a Deluge. Which I do. It doesn't matter, because I won't get the card, but either way. That is really interesting, but it also doesn't matter. Because I have a 24 Banshee in hand with 15 credits. So, yeah. And he, interestingly, opts to go for the value play on the Spitfire, which is probably one of the dumber things this opponent could do. Yeah, I'm going to be going for Banshee, probably hit into the Spitty with my Hurricane, and then just close out the board state with Task Force. I'd really like to get... I could get my Tiger Cat out. I could ANZAC Spirits. I don't know why I would. I've got a lot of options here, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of threatening options. But order of operations dictates I am not ahead on the board, so I need to get ahead on the board before I can take advantage of being ahead on the board. I go for a Mist here, because I always go for a Mist. Deluge. Typically, you always want to go for the defense. So if it's distribute 6 defense between friendly targets, you pick it. If it's give your HQ 3 defense, pick it. If it increases your life total, probably pick Mist. Or not, don't pick Mist, but pick the card that gives you life total after you picked Mist. The pin all units one is actually really good in certain circumstances. He gets a lot of good cards there from Colossus, but you will notice he has a lot of cards in hand, so he won't be able to make use of a Z special unit super well. At this point, he doesn't have a whole lot going on. I can copy my B-29 with American Guard, I can play Tiger Cat, I can get my Overcast down, and just start setting up my big threat package. I think I go for Gale here, because at this point I'm trying to close out the game. I always go for that Cyclone. I get my American Guard on the B-29, yep. And I just play Seahawk, because why not? Seahawk is good in any situation where your opponent can't immediately kill Seahawk. Area Bombardment is just fine. He trades out one of his finishers for a value card. I'm fine with that. I'm also fine with playing B-29 and then attacking his fighter with it, because it's a 9/9 with heavy armor 2. And also I have a second one, so just kind of aura farming there. Now, he still can't break through with that area bombardment, but he does get the card back in his hand. It's a lot less impactful because he can't kill my Super Fortress with it, and he can't hit face with it either. And that's kind of what the clock that we're running down here. Can he kill me before I can kill him? Right now, I'd say odds are we can probably do it. Thinking about Cyclone, I go for Cyclone. Push American Guard is what it is. I have another B-29, so if he trades both units into that American Guard, then I can pretty easily just play my other B-29. Now he has 2 Lancasters in hand, but he has less health than me, which is the important part. He remedies this, but now he does not have the credits to play Lancaster. So, did that really help him? I'm not sure. I'm confused by NZANS driven cards there. I'm pretty sure it's the Colossus that he used. I'm pretty sure that adds a cycle component to the cards it copies. He goes for a fighter here, which is really annoying. And I'm thinking about a lot of different plays. And I do end up just wiping his board with B-29. And I'm thinking, man, what do I play here? Oh, just use the giant bomber I played. It takes no retaliation damage because heavy armor 2. Pretty hilarious. He gets a fortification, which at this point could pull this out as a win for him if he manages to get some sort of meteor cycle combo. He has the credits for Lancaster right here, which he should play and just hit face with. But he essentially has to bet that his bombers beat my bombers, which isn't going to happen if he doesn't play any cards, so I'm just going to hit face. He's playing Finland Ally, so I deploy my 101st first in order to proc Sisu. Sisu doesn't end up proccing, so it just goes through. I'm not sure if I have lethal set up on the board. I don't feel like counting. I think I'm like 2 damage off or something. He kills my Nothing Burger card and deploys Mosquito, which ought to buy him a turn, but I can kill everything on his board 6 ways from Sunday. At this point, I'm not threatened. In fact, I play my Task Force 4-4, and that's an easy lethal next turn with either Gale or the B-29. Ooh, scary bomber. My scary bombers are scarier. Get pwned. Anyway, that's typically how you'd expect a control match with this deck to go. It'll take a long fucking time. Apologies for the profanity. But yeah, it'll take a long time to get through these matches. You'll typically win, unless they can pull something out of their ass. But typically it's a little hard to do. I mean, that guy, he pulled 3 Lancasters out of his deck, and not one time did he hit face. Did he need to hit face? Probably. Did he need to kill the units that he used the Lancasters to kill? probably. So do with that what you will. Okay, we're into another game. I think this might be the last game. Get rid of naval battle. I'm fine with U.S. military research. JASCO is perfect. Strategic bombing isn't ideal for the mulligan. Really, you want your Z special forces in your mulligan, and you want cheap units on cheap cards rather on the left side of your HQ. So this could be a very interesting match. He's going for a 3 operation cost deck, which kind of got neutered a while ago, but it plays off of this sort of the same set of circumstances that my deck does. I just play surprise engagement. I either kill the threat or I kill his enabler. Either one is good. Now I have a Thunderbolt. Draw on top of draw on top of draw. Now I get Wrath Hurricane proc if I want to with Thunderbolt. I get my Overcast, which is great. I go for expanded US research in order to get a pressurized cabin in order to deal with that threat. Another thing though, I actually have naval battle right now, and he plays an Overcast himself. So we're both playing under the same bet right now, basically. We're both betting that we can use the credits from Overcast better than our opponent. And it's really amplified, right, by both of us using Overcast. It's twice as many Overcasts being played, each in decks who require Overcast. So whoever does Overcast better is going to win here. I think I eventually come to a conclusion of decisive battle. Pretty sure. I just say, is this JASCO really worth it when all of his units have 6+ attack? Probably not. Outcast works, that clears the board. He overdraws his Cyclone, which is funny. He was not managing that correctly. Wrath Hurricanes here are, if I'm able to play the top card in my deck, which is 5th Ohio, are really going to be working here. I do end up drawing another card, because that was the Overcast draw. So I won't be able to play the Hurricanes yet. But he's given me just as much to work with as he's giving himself. So this isn't a bad spot to be in at all. He hasn't got any big face swings. Got juicy targets on the board to hit with my removal. 101st is annoying, but it's manageable. I think I just play Overcasts into 101st. Playing Overcast here is kind of tricky business. I do manage to kill that with Task Force. Basically, the more cards I put on top of my hand, and the more cards I draw, the more cards I get with Forecast, the harder it's going to be to play these Wrath Hurricanes. I ended up going for that one just in case he actually manages to outvalue me, which is the only angle he's going to be able to play here. That Monsoon Rain could just win me the game on the spot if he ends up overvaluing me, or outvaluing me, because that's the point of his deck. He was playing big dudes with big operation costs. He's going to play a lot of them. And then he's going to unga bunga all the way over to my side of the board and hit face. So, if I'm out of cards, that Monsoon Rain just instantly wins. This is the easiest strat bombing of my life. I wish it wasn't so, but I'm getting closer to being able to use my NZANS, or not NZANS, sorry, do special unit, so I'm going to play Overcast probably. Or no, I don't, because I'm at 11 credits. I ended up deploying the Wrath Hurricane just because I want that much more pressure on him right now. And because I feel secure with that Monsoon Rain. He goes for big 5th Rangers. Not the end of the world. I have my own 5th Rangers now. And I think I go for a pressurized cabin into a Overcast here, and then just 2 face. Now, it's probably not necessary that I go for the Overcast here, just because I don't need him. I don't need the credits to kill him, and I don't need him gaining an extra life point. But might as well. I'm checking to see if I overdraw here. I'm trying to calculate 2 plus 7, which I successfully do. But anyway, I hit face. He's playing some inconsequential cards. I have so many options to deal with this, it's not even funny. I might end up going for the value play just because I have 5th Rangers on the board in order to pressure face. Or I just hit face in order to set up lethal. That works. If I ever get a 5th Ranger swing on this guy, he's done. I just played B-29 to win. Okay, he's fighting back here. This is when that Monsoon is going to come in handy. Yeah, there it is. Just making all of his units kind of shit is pretty alright. Especially with Seahawk, they can't kill that, and I think I'm able to play 5th Rangers here if I really want, but I just go for the fighter, just for some more reliable board pressure. He reveals his trick. He's going to do Operation Cost shenanigans, and he has a Cyclone in order to capitalize on it. But at this point, I basically only have to make sure that he doesn't have anything that can kill me on the spot, which is pretty easy to do when I can one-tap his with a Banshee. Yeesh. I kind of want to go for 5th Rangers here, but at the same time, I want the 5th Rangers big, so I'm just going to end up losing the Dauntless here. Okay. Or Banshee, rather. He plays an Overcast, much to my chagrin. Blue Sky is a little threatened. It's got Aura. It's objectively the worst, but it's interesting. It's like, what if I manage to get the mega big high roll, and then I win, and then everyone claps. Manages to get a sustained pressure, and he suddenly reveals himself as a 4 attack Operation Cost deck. Weird. I know. I can just kill his threat, place another, and hang face. I basically just need to play B-29 next turn and win. I have that right now. It's 12 credits, or it's 16 credits on 9 health. That is exactly B-29. And he knows that I have it in hand. Which is sad for him, because that's how he closed this game out. So thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully this style is just as good as the other styles I typically do. This was Bitching Ramp. Bitching because it bitches, and bitching because it's bitchin', if you know what I'm saying. Anywho, have a good night, everyone. Toodaloo.